Okay, I'd like to call tonight's Board of Commissioners meeting to order. If we could all please stand for a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one
nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brian always throws me off. I almost forget what to say when I hear his voice.
Undivided.
Yes. Okay. No. Okay, tonight is the regular business meeting of the Board of Commissioners for March 16th, 2023. For roll call, let's see, our Assistant Township Manager, Secretary Renee Flexer is not here. Nathan Jones, our Director of Planning, and Brian McAdam, our Township Engineer, are joining us virtually through Zoom. There are no agenda modifications. There are no announcements and presentations. We will start with item number 6, hearings and approvals. We will adjourn the regular board meeting so that we can have so we conduct a hearing on ordinance 2023-02, amending chapter 27 to increase the zoning hearing board voting members to 5 and eliminate alternates. Mr. Solicitor.
Thank you, Mr. President. You summarized the ordinance fairly well, which is we're increasing the size from 3 to 5, and there will be no alternates. So that's what no alternates. So that's what this ordinance amendment is. What I'm going to do is just mark a couple of exhibits for purposes of the public notice component, show that we did everything right. The first is the legal notice in the newspaper, which was published on the 22nd of February, March 1st, and March 2nd. The ordinance itself is Exhibit 2. Exhibit 3 is a February 3, 2023 letter from Renee to the Law Library. Exhibit 4 is a February 14, 2023 letter from the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission applauding this change. And Exhibit 5, the last exhibit, is a February 7 letter from Lower Milford to Nathan Jones, also applauding the change. So those are the exhibits. Does any member of the board have any questions? Does any member of the public want to comment on the proposed ordinance? Hearing's concluded with that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Solicitor. So we will resume the normal Board of Commissioners business meeting. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 2023-02?
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will ask the Township Manager to please call the roll.
Commissioner Shoemaker,
Yes.
Commissioner Robert,
Aye.
Commissioner Beitler,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Commissioner Higgins.
Aye. Okay, the ayes have it. Moving on, item 6.2, resolution 2023-17, reappointing zoning hearing board members.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to reappoint the zoning hearing board members. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Item number 7, public comment on non-agenda topics. Having none, we will move on to item number 8, communication. Mr. Vital.
Thank you. We have several items this evening. The solicitor mentioned 2 already. Mr. Irv Keister, a statement of interest for the Planning Commission. I should note the township did receive an email requesting that we withdraw the statement of interest. You'll also notice in the new business component of the agenda, there was supposed to be an interview for Mr. Keister, and unfortunately, he asked to no longer be considered. 8.2 was that letter about the zoning hearing board ordinance from Lower Milford, as well as 8.3 from the LVPC. That's all we have this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Vital. Item 9, there are no appointments to various boards, committees, or commissions this evening. Item 10, approval of the minutes of our previous meeting, March 2nd, 2023.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 11.1, approval of transfers, bill list, and payroll. Mr. Beidle.
Thank you. We have the following for your consideration. The general fund, $426,857.65. The sewer fund, $22,971.01. The capital projects fund, $150. The liquid fuels fund, $23,825.90. The payroll, $155,656.93. The developer escrow, $4,519.68, for a total of all funds, $633,981.17.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bill list. Are there any commissioner comments or questions?
I have one request
Yes.
that in the attachments, page 25 should be removed because it's basically a duplication of page 16.
Okay, we will correct it.
Okay. Any other commissioner comments or questions? Seeing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Item 12, departmental matters and reports. Engineering, Mr. McAdam.
Thank you, Mr. President. With the exception of the monthly engineering report that was submitted, I don't have anything else specific to add.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for the township engineer? Okay, item 12.2, planning, Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir. We have one resolution for release from the Hamilton Walk project, which is right off of Route 100. Following review by the township engineer, we have received recommendation for a reduction in security. The reduction would be in the amount of $430,261, and that would leave roughly 1.6 million remaining in the rest of the security for the project. I should note that the project on the lower max side is still quite early along, whereas the upper max side has been moving quite a bit. So I would expect this construction season, they'll be coming in for some more releases as they begin to build homes and do more work.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve resolution 2023-18, security release for Schaefer Run Hamilton Walk. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving on. Solicitor Berman.
One thing for you tonight for consideration, and that is the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and the decision in the conditional use matter of Macungie Mixed Use Development LLC. Recall, we heard this case on February 16. It was unanimous to approve with the conditions of the Planning Commission and one additional condition that was discussed that night, basically holding them to the traffic recommendations made in the traffic. So that's what's before you tonight for approval.
Move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the written decision for the conditional use hearing of Lower Macungie Mixed Use Development LLC. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any commissioner comments or questions? Any public comments or questions? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Anything else, Mr. Solicitor?
Nothing else this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Township Manager, Mr. Beidle.
I have nothing unless there's questions for me.
Any questions for the Township Manager? Okay. Moving on, item 13, other business. Is there any old business this evening? Okay. Is there any new business this evening? Now that Mr. Keister's interview has been removed. Okay. Board of Commissioner reports. Do any commissioners have any reports for this evening? I have one, and it's really just an announcement. I want to take a second and congratulate our former township manager, Mr. Fosselman, his wife, his son, and most importantly, his daughter-in-law on the birth of their first child, Lila Fosselman, who was born 2 days ago. Mother and child are doing well. I saw a picture of Bruce. He was holding her like a golf club, which I thought was a problem. But other than that, everything looked good. So congratulations to the Fosselmans. I have a quick question for the solicitor who just stepped out. Bruce, and I'll go through you. We no longer have a second public comment section.
Oh, that's correct.
Can it be amended? Can we, Bruce, the solicitor's back. That's okay. My question, David, is we no longer have a second public comment section of the agenda. Are we able to amend the agenda to allow for public comment at the end? We can? Okay. Then I would like to amend the agenda at this point just to open public comment on any topic. Do I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Mr. Seaman, you can speak now. So Dennis, just so you know, we talked last week, so we start at 6. That's okay, but so these meetings tend to go quickly now. So by the time you got here, we were past public comment already, but we're going to reopen it just for you because you're a special guy.
Apologize.
That's okay.
Stupidity.
No, tardiness, that's all.
I see I already signed here one time. I'm not gonna sign it. Is that
Okay,
all right?
that's fine.
Hope I grabbed the right one. I don't know if how to start it. Congress of the United States, House of Representatives, got a kickback from Susan Wild. Dear constituent, thank you for contacting my office regarding your issue. I'd be happy to make an inquiry on your behalf. In order to do so, I am required to have a complete federal privacy release form from you. A privacy release form from my office is enclosed for your convenience. Please fill out the form. Include a brief letter describing what you're asking of my office. Attach any documents you feel were pertinent to your situation. And this goes way back when I couldn't come anymore because I got an implant in here, had a stroke, etc. This should not even be brought up. Basketball backboards. Honorable Congresswoman Susan Wild concerning basketball backboards apparatus structures in Lower McCounty Town has over 33,000 people, but not one ordinance for promoting health, safety, general welfare, tranquility. There is a safety issue in Lower McCounty Township. Horrible. I understand the first-class township represents the amount of residing residences living in a Pacific place. I've been informed to take my grievances or protests to you, Honorable Susan Wild, Member of Congress. People living in the Lehigh Valley should be thankful for a caring representative such as yourself. I do apologize for the longhand. The person that used to type for me, he passed away, Mr. Reedy. I have served my country honorable in the U.S. Marines and U.S. Navy, served aboard the gunships, 2 gunships, received a commendation letter that my wife and I may be buried in a national cemetery. I am searching for professional guidance or reporting the inadequacy of leadership on the commissioners in Lower McCounty Township. This is way in the past. This includes all past commissioners, none of you gentlemen. Negative attitudes. Whenever I speak on subjects, I am always for the citizens of Lower McCounty Township. I ask for nothing. Basketball apparatus or structures placed within the township 10-foot right of way. There has always been a ruling since the building of homes in Ancient Oaks area since 1965. No basketball boards were allowed within the 10-foot right of way. As time went by, I will say, ignorant, arrogant people decided to stuff the ruling and do whatever comes to mind. These so-called commissioners thought they were exercising control on their authority over the people. That's when they amended over there in that West Wing. I call it the West Wing.
Mhm.
Suggesting their leadership is predominant and no one else has any input. This is a safety issue, plain and simple, common sense, also an extreme nuisance. It was stated these blackboards were to be placed 10 feet from the edge of the curb to the edge of the rim. Now the reason I was told like that, because you can have a one that stretches out 4 feet.
And Dennis, just so we understand the background, I want to let you finish. We're past the 3 minutes, but I want to let you finish your statement.
Yeah,
just
I don't-
Fairness.
I should ask you to let you proxy it whenever I come in because I'm not very
That's
fast.
okay.
A new ordinance is needed. As a few years went by, the township built many parks, basketball courts, baseball fields, soccer fields, and so forth. Up to date, Lorimer County has over, at that time it was 1,200 acres when Mr. Stanley Cup, an employee for Public Works in the Lorimer County Township, can testify that he has seen pictures of 11 players and 3 basketballs at the same time playing in the streets. Church Lane Park is a 1-minute ride by car to the park. People have a right to take their grievance or protest to higher authority. I am searching for professional guidance on reporting the inadequacy of leadership on past and present commissioners in Lorimer County Township. The issue of removing all backwards out of the 10-foot right of way from the edge of the curb to the edge of the rim. The policy that has been steaming in Lorimer County Township, which has made people fume or become very angry, is the process in the way people are picked for a certain position in the departments of this municipality, way back, of Lorimer County Township. Biased fools, this is not what is called a performing democratic society in Lorimer County Township. I have noticed this disgusting mannerism since 1991.
So Dennis, and
Go ahead.
we always appreciate you coming to us with this issue.
Yeah,
We do have an ordinance. We do enforce it. As I've told you before, unfortunately, some people do ignore the enforcement and come back and do it again.
yeah, they don't care.
And going to Representative Wild is absolutely within your right to do. She has no governance over those issues for us. Because of the
Right, I
township
just
issue.
want it guided.
Yeah, so, and we're going to continue to do that because of, your vigilance and you're keeping up with that. We're always going to keep trying to get that to stop.
Yeah. And
Okay.
that was way before the burn ordinance.
Yeah, no, I
This should
understand.
go back to, oh my gosh, 1996.
Well, we're going to keep doing everything we can to enforce it with our staff.
Yeah,
And do it the best we can. Okay.
yeah, I grabbed my thing. That isn't what I was going to say, but,
Perfectly fine.
and I apologize for,
No apologies necessary.
if I had a donkey, I'd bend over so he kicked me right where I belong.
Thank you, Dennis. Have a
Thank
good
you,
evening.
gentlemen. Oh, good evening, Mr.
Okay, moving forward, there is no executive session. There was no executive session prior to this meeting. There will not be one afterwards. With that, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.